Now, though, I promised you him for the last hour. I'm delighted to say we are joined by the man who's put the whole thing together, England and Spurs superstar, James Maddison.
Superstar?
I got your text.
The nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Make sure you say superstar when you join me. How are you, James Maddison?
Very good, mate. Yeah, off the back, straight off the course into here.
I appreciate that.
Promise you.
I know you did. That's very kind. So firstly, thank you for inviting me down here today. Thanks for inviting talkSPORT as well.
I've always wondered how you got the invite. I'm not going to lie to you. I find it
Text me. Well,
on talkSPORT, he's my favourite.
Well, that's a lie, obviously.
Goldstein's my favourite, I'll be honest.
That's nice. Thank you. It's very kind.
And we met at the darts, didn't we?
Yeah.
And he's a big snooker man. So there's a lot of similarities there. And he comes across as a nice guy, and I think you back that up.
Don't spoil the illusion.
No. Your key word being comes across as...
Yeah. No, I am. No, he knows me. He knows I'm a nice fella.
You are a nice guy.
We need to play that snooker match, by the way. We need to do that.
Oh, we'll have that.
How was your golf today? Because I found you're a much better golfer than I am, mate. I found it extremely difficult out there.
Oh, no, it's a difficult course, isn't it? But I had a great group, to be fair. Your group all right? I couldn't believe my luck. Michael McIntyre was alongside me, and it was literally, I had a 3-hour show all to myself. Oh, that's
or
brilliant.
4 hours. It was incredible. He's such a lovely
He's
lad.
hilarious, isn't he?
Brilliant.
No, it was brilliant. It was. I had a really fun group.
Who are you with?
I was with Jermaine Genus. He actually drafted in late because Declan Rice weren't very well, and he had to look after his son today because his son wasn't very well. So Jermaine Genus drafted into Team Maddison late on.
Right.
And he's a brilliant golfer and great company. And we had we had Akshay and Jay, two lads who obviously paid money to be here, which will obviously all be towards the charity. And we had a great group. We had lots of fun. Everyone seemed in good spirits out there, even when that storm hit.
Yeah.
Which is not really ideal, is it, Andy, for a golf day?
It's not for any day. I saw the weather actually last week. I looked at today's weather and I was like, oh, it's not that good. But, on a day like this, and we'll talk about the charity in a moment, but on a day like this, it sort of doesn't matter. You make good of what bad weather comes.
And where the halfway house is here, there's a few holes that come into the same sort of junction. And even when it was tipping down and the weather was horrendous, everyone seemed in great spirits. And I appreciate that because if everyone goes on a downer and moans about the rain and the wet, then it can put a little downer on the mood and the spirit. But everyone was in such high spirits and having great fun, so I'm appreciative of that.
So how long have you been doing it for, James?
This is the second one, so only 2 years. Oh, not even 2 years. It's because we did it. We wanted to do it every summer because of the good weather, Bentley.
Of course.
So yeah. So brilliant for a day like today.
Surely Portugal next year, right? Fly us all over to Portugal.
Are you invited again, are you?
I am now. We go to Portugal. Yeah.
So this is only the second one. I did the first one. I know, obviously, Andy said we're going to get onto the charity, but the first one was for a little girl from Norwich who I knew, who I'm very close with her family now. She sadly passed away, so that was the idea behind the first one. And then this year was for a children's hospice, which I visited recently, and I've got lots of friends, lots of big profiles that enjoy golf, so the day's brilliant. And we raise lots of money for a great cause, so it's win-win.
We'll talk more about the charity now because you've mentioned it. It's a wonderful charity. I mean, it must be so difficult for sports people in the public eye like yourself, to choose one specific charity. So I'm just guessing that next year will be a different charity, so the more charities can benefit from it. What sort of amount of money do you hope to raise from it? And I would imagine that later on tonight there is more people staying, there's an auction and so on, so there's a great opportunity to raise a lot of money tonight.
Oh yeah, brilliant. It's getting people like you with loads of cash in the room and hoping that
he's looking at Darren Bentley.
We're hoping we raise lots of money. I don't know about the end figure, but whatever it will be fantastic for the Noah's Ark Children's Hospice, which this year it's for. I went to Noah's Ark as an appearance for the club, for Spurs. It's just one of the player appearances you have to do. It's one of them. It's like, you have a player appearance to do.
Yeah.
So you get the itinerary and you're like... But I went there, Benty, and honestly it was like... It generally just touched me. Because there's young children in there with their family. Some of the children I couldn't even have a conversation with because of their condition.
Yeah.
And I was just talking to the parents, and being a father myself now... Just kind of hit home a little bit, made me feel very blessed and grateful that the problems that we worry about in my life are not problems,
Of course.
And then the penny just dropped of, golf day's coming up this year. We're still picking and choosing with the charities because I want to do a different charity every year so we can diversify it and help as many people as possible. And then the penny just dropped, and I thought this would be brilliant because then they can improve facilities, they can help the families that are struggling. Because speaking to some of the parents who had children, some of their children are terminally ill, and you don't know what to say, you know.
It's tough.
So being able to do something like this and help them just gives me a warm feeling that I've done all right, you know.
Well, listen, we will be giving out the email address and the website, etc., of how people can donate throughout the 3 hours we're on air. So good luck with that. And again, thanks for inviting talkSPORT down so we can cover it. Let's talk about your season before we look ahead to the Euros. Spurs finished 5th. Now, I was just saying to Betty before you got here that I think if you would have spoke to most Spurs fans before the season and you said 5th, they'll go, that's a great season. New manager, Harry Kane's gone, new players have come in, 5th's good. How do you and the rest of the Spurs players view 5th?
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, 5th. We wanted to be in the Champions League, I think. That was my feeling. But in the bigger picture, new manager, kind of a little bit of a revamp of the squad, losing the club's greatest ever player. I think if you had offered, well, in the pre-season predictions, you had all the experts and all people like Benty and you lot in the media predicting Spurs would be a lot lower than 5th. So there's that, but also Spurs is still a huge club and we should be in the Champions League. So it's like a little bit of a balancing act in how I feel about it, but there's definitely progress in terms of how we play and with the manager, 100%. I can feel that's there, and now we've got to have a good summer window and try and do better next year and really challenge. Yeah.
Do you know what, James? I think injuries came for you lot at the wrong time, because start of the season you guys were flying. You were flying. Van der Ven was flying. You obviously picked up the injury. I think Van der Ven got the hamstring injury. So almost you had all your, I won't say your best players, but your most effective players all injured at the same time. That probably derailed you as well, because you only missed that by Champions League by 2 points. You keep all your rest of your players fit, you probably get it.
Yeah, and listen, most clubs will sit here and say, and you hear most managers moaning about how many injuries they have, and it's one of them things, isn't it? But we did have big injuries at big times, and like me and Mickey van der Ven both missed 3 months.
Yeah.
It's not like they weren't 4 weekers or 6 weekers. Like you get a little hamstring for 4 weeks. They were 3 months in a busy period. So that was, and then you have a 3-month injury.
It takes a while to get back.
People don't understand. They expect first, second game back, you're back at the top level, which isn't always the case, as you know, because you play the game. But no, but listen, I feel like we finished well. We had a little spell with some bad results in the big games, but progress. I can see progress and feel progress with the manager and how we're playing. So the signs are there for me as a player who's been in the game for a long time, and I think next season could be promising. Yeah.
We were talking last week about signs of the season, like signings of the season. Your name's obviously in that conversation, as is Bentley mentioning Van der Ven, who's been exceptional. When did you realise that you had a player? Was it the first day you saw him in training? Was it maybe a couple of games in? Because his pace and his defence is brilliant, but his pace is exceptional.
Yeah, he's rapid, man.
Wow.
He's absolutely rapid. He's I actually said to him as well when he come in, like, well, not straight away obviously, but after a little bit, I said, when I realised how good he was and how fast, I said, you know, I'd never heard of you. Like,
what, you personally?
No, I'd never heard of Mickey van der Ven.
Oh, you said that to him.
I said that to Mickey, yeah. I would never say that at the start, obviously, but once I realised he was a top player, I couldn't believe we had signed this centre-back that I was seeing, because I was thinking, well, right then, what's his weakness? Because he's good on the ball, he's good in the air, he's tall, he's strong, and he's rapid. And I'm thinking, where's the weakness then? And to be fair, I'm still looking.
Yeah, there isn't one.
And I don't want to get too carried away with him, but I kind of love him and I want to as well, because he's a top player and he's a great lad as well. And being a good person and a great lad in the changes just makes you appreciate him as a player even more. And he's a top lad. And he's been a fantastic signing for us. Very disappointing that he had a big injury midway through the season, because I think you would have been talking about someone who's probably in the team of the year. But listen, he's back fit now and he looks really good, and I'm sure he'll be an asset to Holland this summer. Yeah.
I have to ask you about the Man City game.
I'm so glad you asked it, because that was coming.
The end of the season. What were you all talking about it as Spurs players in the dressing room, thinking that if we beat Man City effectively, we could hand Arsenal the title? Was that even? It must have been a conversation, right?
There was enough of you lot in the media talking about it, though. We didn't need to. We all understood.
But you were aware of it.
Well, of course we were aware of it, yeah, because it's the business end of the season. But what do you want to happen? We're professionals. Did you watch the game?
I did watch the game.
He played well. He played
thought
really
we
well.
played-
Son, Son scores that goal. It's a totally different story, right?
Exactly, yeah. It was a brilliant save from Ortega, actually. And he made two. He made another one from Kulusevski, which went under the radar because of the Son save. But we applied ourselves brilliantly in that game. And listen, we lost the game to the champion, the 4-time champions. That can happen.
Yeah.
That's
Listen,
natural.
I don't think it was ever in question whether or not you would perform at the highest of your ability. I think the debate was whether or not Spurs fans should or shouldn't be wanting their team to win. That was the debate.
But, no, I get that, but we can't get involved in that, can we?
No.
What do you want me to do? Sit outside and
No, of course
take
not.
a poll of what they want? Like, we had game to game to game, and the Man City game I think was a midweek game. So we had played at the weekend, we had a midweek, and then we had another game at the weekend. So all the build-up that you lot do, we probably don't take as much notice as you think, or don't fully understand the fans' feeling. Listen, I'm not a Tottenham fan, so deep down in my heart, I don't have the hatred for Arsenal that the Tottenham fans have. But on the same page, I completely understand, because,
Of course.
like, I'm a Coventry fan, like, because that's where, like, watching Coventry in the FA go deep in the FA Cup. That's how I feel when I support a team, and that's how I know with the rivals and stuff. So I completely get it, but it kind of doesn't. I'm not sure. It's not really a thing when you're a professional and you're a player, because you just go and play the game normally and kind of just ignore the outside noise.
Was the atmosphere a bit strange in there, though? Because it was coming through the TV that the atmosphere wasn't as listen, I've been there at Spurs when it was the old White Hart Lane, but when that place is rocking in a night game, it rocks. Was it a bit odd in there?
It wasn't its most electric, I wouldn't say.
But I get it. I wouldn't know what side of the
But what I would
fence.
say is there was a lot of talk about Tottenham fans not wanting us to win the game. But within the stadium, as the game went on and we were playing better and better and creating chances, I felt Tottenham fans wanting their team to win regardless of the outcome. That's what I felt. But
Let's just quickly, before we let you go, we have to talk about the Euros coming up. You're part of the 33-man provisional squad that's going to get melted down to 26.
Yeah.
Firstly, how do you find out you're in the 33-man squad? Do you get a text, a phone call? What happens?
yeah, you get a text. You get a text off Ruth from the FA. So unless if, for example, it might be your first call up or something like that, then Gareth might call you, I think. Like when I was called up for the World Cup squad in Qatar, when I'd been out the squad for a couple of years, Gareth called me to let me know that, like, the good news. Because obviously he has to make a lot of tough phone calls, so he probably takes some joy and happiness in giving the good ones, you know. So yeah, I got the text, which was obviously good news.
That's great news, and I'm not saying it here because you're in front of us, but we're big fans, not just me and Benny, but talkSPORT big fans of yours, and we hope you get into this 26-man squad. But it's tough, right? Because in the position you play, there's so many good players we've got.
Yeah, lot. Listen, the squad's stacked with talent, but yeah, like that's out of my hands. I'll just go there, train well, be a good person, and play well. That's all I can do. We've got so many good players. It's brilliant to play with, you know. It kind of takes the level up for anyone when you go and play with the top talent. And I know what I'm capable of, so felt like I finished the season strongly, in a good position. I'm feeling good, feeling fit, feeling like with the injury I had, kind of like my season stalled a bit, so kind of like the end of the season comes at a wrong time, like from club football point of view, because I felt like I was just getting back fully into my groove. But listen, brilliant that we go and meet up and have a couple of friendlies, and then it's up to Gareth.
Can we win it?
I think so, yeah. Well, we definitely could, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think our starting 11 is
I
as
think
good as
the
anyone's.
trajectory we're on and the squad of players and the talent we have and the relationship that we've built as a group with the manager, with the coaches, it feels right that now could be the chance. But we've got to still go and do it. And there's lots of other talented nations, but yeah, we'll give it everything.
Just quickly, I'm curious. We've got so many players in our squad, not so many, but a few players that I class as world class. I put Declan Rice in that, I put Jude Bellingham in that, I put Harry Kane in it. When you go and train with these guys, is there one for you that blows you out of the water? Do you look at Jude Bellingham for him and just go, wow, what a player, or maybe someone else?
Oh, the talent, there's so much talent. I would say, and I'm not just saying it because he's like flavour of the moment, but Jude is an unbelievable footballer. Like, top level. I love the way he plays the game, for starters, just the type of player he is. But just there's something about him with his hunger and his mentality and the way he trains and the way he plays that. And listen, this is a player in my position, in that number 10, number 8 midfield position. But he is someone who can be a catalyst for us to get our hands on a trophy. So yeah, he's probably the one.
we hope you make the squad. Thank you so much for inviting me down to play. Thanks for inviting talkSPORT down. You're a superstar. We love your work. Keep it up. What happens now? What's going to happen here? How many people stay? Is there a dinner and ball?
Yeah, so there's a dinner. Once I've finished doing all the media duties for the lads who I promised that I'd do it for.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
First, obviously.
I'm going to go and see my family in there. I think my kids are here now, so I'm going to go and see them. And then we'll get on with the auction and the trophies from the winners of today once you've wrapped up and finished.
So I get the trophy for... I so wanted... the trophy I thought I could win was nearest to the pin. And I was going to cheat.
That was a short par 3.
I was going to cheat.
You?
Yeah, I was going to cheat.
How has that come in your head?
Because I like trophies.
How has that come in your head? You haven't got
And
any.
I said to the other... That's why I was going to cheat. I said to the other 3, do you reckon anyone will... And they laugh. You know that nervous laugh where you go, yeah. And they thought, is he serious?
You've got to get... So shall I?
I was going to do it. I didn't do it.
You didn't do it because I checked the list and your name weren't
there. Yeah, no.
You're a good person, Andy.
You're even better, James. Thank you so much for coming on Maddison Superstar.
It's nice.
Brilliant stuff. A reminder: we are here at the Maddison Invitational Charity Golf Day for Noah's Ark Hospice. It supports children with life-limiting or life-threatening conditions and their families, of course. For more information, head to noahsarkhospice.org.uk. That's noahsarkhospice.org.uk.
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.